Boom.
Boom.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Welcome back, folks. Man, do we got a good one for you tonight. And of course, with me tonight, the most interesting man I know, a man who mosquitoes refuse to bite purely out of respect to him. Brawnz, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Was that Altered Beast on the intro?
It was, yeah, Altered
Oh,
Beast.
yes.
Man, that is a good one. That brings me way back in the late 80s. Sega. Love it. Love it.
88, 89.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
That was a good game. I feel like it didn't get enough love as it should have, but
Right.
always good to bring some of the oldies but goodies back. So, Brawnz, how are you doing otherwise? You doing good? Feeling good?
Doing good. I'm doing all right. My dog just had surgery again for the second time in 9 months. He ate something, and yeah, it's not pretty. I mean, bill wise. So he's doing good. He's recovering.
Good to
He's
hear.
here, chilling.
Always part of the family, sir. Got to make sure they're taken care of.
Right.
So,
my Shiba, my version is
there
Shiba.
It is.
He's a Frenchie.
There it is.
Yeah.
Worth every penny, folks. Every penny.
Yeah.
So,
to say the least.
But guys, before we get into all the good that's going on in the space tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. We appreciate you. Every little bit helps. So, of course, we'll be getting into Bitcoin chart tonight as per the norm and some of the latest crypto news in the space. And we're going to be getting into something a little bit more relevant as far as our evergreen content is concerned. We're going to be getting into getting ready for the next crypto bull market. And we're going to be talking about what exactly cryptocurrency is. I don't know about you, Brawnz, but I feel like anytime I have to explain this to a boomer, it's like it takes too much energy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not really black and white, is it? I mean, there's some layers into it. So yeah, it's not as simple to explain.
That's right. I think that even when I tried to explain it to even some of the younger folks, yeah, it's not black and white, like you say, and so it's going to be a good topic. But why don't we get right into it, Brawnz? Let me go ahead and pull up the chart like we always do. Let me know when you see that there.
All right,
Yeah. All
yeah, I
right.
see it.
Good. Now, man, what do you?
I see a pattern
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Flat. It's like Ohio, Kansas. It's flatter than a pancake. I tell you. It's funny though because in seeing some of the comments in Twitter, the Twitter space, formerly known as Twitter X space, I saw Bitcoin is lifting off. I don't know what the heck they were looking at, but
Yeah,
seems
right.
to me this is if that's liftoff. I don't know what kind of journey we're going on, but I don't know,
Yeah, if
Bronze.
you, maybe if you just turn the chart the other,
Well, yeah,
sideways,
that
yeah,
or turn
it
the
look like
screen. Let
it's
me tilt the screen so it looks like it has a little bit
yeah,
more lift. But
right.
we've been going sideways for quite a while, and we kind of talked about this in the last episode here. If you go back, we've been pretty much at these levels since March, mid March. Now, yeah, we've had some ups and downs, but if you got in March, you're pretty much where you started if you just hodled. However, keep it into a little bit perspective here. If you were to have gotten in back in January, call it even January 1, you're you're sitting pretty good. Back in January
Mm,
1, it was in the 1700s, called 17.5.
ooh,
So,
nice.
I mean, I guess a lot of folks are probably expecting a heck of a lot more, but I don't know. I feel like the game here is to hodl. What do you think?
Yes, hodl, DCA, accumulate, all that,
Yeah, no question.
especially with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Uh, there's news. Well, some speculation, right? It's like last week, Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital mentioned he sees uh, the ETF, Bitcoin ETF, to be approved in October, which is a couple days away, and that's that the trading will begin in December. That's what he sees.
Well,
When that news breaks out, that if and when that news breaks out, that's when we'll see some catalysts and some heavy movement. But then you hear some other news that uh, the Congress is trying to push for this spot ETFs to be approved, but SEC's they're delaying. They don't know about this government shutdown that might happen. But yeah, I mean, right now it's just flat as a pancake, as you
flat as a
said.
pancake. And yeah, lots of speculation in the space. They are talking about that potential for getting those ETFs out. And there's been a lot of talk over the past several months about the spot Bitcoin BTF. I'm sorry, ETF. And they, I find it interesting though that I came across one today. It was talking about a Ethereum futures spot ETF. Um, Let me pull this up here.
Ooh.
This is, I feel like this, no one, no, Ethereum is really like the redheaded stepchild. And I don't know if it's given enough love. A lot of folks have been focusing on Bitcoin and the spot ETF potential there. But let me know when you see this here. So this comes from Cointelegraph, talking about Ethereum futures ETF could start trading as early as next week. A Bloomberg analyst, and you had mentioned this.
Wow.
An impeding U.S. government shutdown could accelerate the launch of Ether future ETFs.
Ooh.
Why is no one
So they're going
talking
the other
about
way.
this?
I mean, are they approved? I didn't even know. I mean, they're saying they're starting to trade. Wow,
Well, I think could start trading, right? Could start trading as early as next week is what they're saying. Um,
it's
Not to say
crazy.
that there is um, currently an option for this. So it sounds to me
Right.
like it more hearsay, trying, I don't know, to generate FOMO. We got to be careful with all this, folks, because, there are going to be hidden agendas for whatever, whoever is talking or has that soapbox in front of them. So, you want to make sure you're doing your own research and being careful with this. But I'm bullish on this. I feel like this is good news. Um, I know that there's been a lot of folks that have been talking about whether or not we've hit bottom. Um, I don't know, Bronze, have you heard about what's been going on in BitBoy's world? What's going on there? Have we hit bottom?
Yeah, well, it feels like it because that's. I mean, he's kind of carrying the. He's keeping crypto kind of relevant with his
Oh
news.
man. Yeah.
So yeah, I think earlier this week, he approached, I guess, one of the people that did him wrong. I think it's Carlos something. He approached him in the his home to get his Lambo back,
Oh.
and authorities came. Yeah, it was drama, and supposedly his uh, was his mistress was in the truck that we were trying to find out what kind of truck he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, poor man. I feel like he's hit rock bottom,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he's trying to make the most. He's trying to. He got rugged. He got rugged with his own company. I mean, it's all these nuance. Like everyone win Lambo. He's trying to get his Lambo back. It just plays to that side of crypto. It's entertaining, but yeah, it's kind of sad. But no doubt he's keeping the crypto space kind of in the news.
yeah, I feel like this was a misstep for him. Definitely, if they're almost certainly bringing all of the lawyers to the table here, and he filmed a 37-minute live stream outside of his ex business partner's house, and then of course later got arrested. Now he's saying, "Well, I spent a whole 8 hours in the slammer." Yeah, of course, because if you're going to be threatening someone, and not even allegedly, he was saying that he had a gun on him. I feel like it's yeah, rock bottom, over the top. I mean, if you're going to film this
Yeah,
live, what are you thinking here?
right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he said he had a gun, but it was in his car.
Yeah.
But
As if to say what,
the,
though? It's like, I got a gun. I'm not going to use it. It's in my car, but I got a gun.
right, right.
It's yeah, he's really just needs to step back, evaluate things in his life, and hopefully he'll be able to recover from this. You think he'll be able to recover
Yeah,
from this? Tell me.
man, it's really rough. I don't his his reputation is a little bit tainted, like how his actions are. But I mean, he has followers and people supporting him. But yeah, but there's a lot of people that's just getting a kick out of this.
Well, it's entertaining. I'll
Yeah,
give it that. And I feel like the Twitter space is even more entertaining.
yes.
They're calling this the this is the bottom. They're calling, because of this event, it has marked the bottom of the old regime, and we're going to start seeing what else is new out there. What do you think? We hit bottom,
Wow.
Bronze?
Uh, I I hope so. Um, I was looking for like a black swan to come through. So far we haven't. A couple years ago, like 2019, 18, like during November, there was a big dip, and yeah, I'm kind of bracing myself. I'm just kind of just waiting for that to happen or anticipating it to happen. Not to sound grim,
Well,
uh, we just got out of Rectember, and I'm trying to be more bullish for October. But yeah, with the news, some people are saying, yeah, ETF Bitcoin ETF might be approved sometimes this month. But then you hear, I mean, it feels like it's a wash. But then you hear the SEC delaying the approval.
let's take a look at this. You know, if you take a look at this, and we do this right here, September actually ended up green. If we stay
Oh.
right where we're at right now, we've increased. It's not the norm,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I don't know. Is things different this time? Well, I think that at least for this September, it may turn out that it is different. Um, I mean, now can we dip back down and drop below? Call it 25.3. Yeah, it's possible. Um, in fact, we did that kind of halfway through on the 12th. But overall, I mean, if you invested early on in September, you're doing pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know. September, Rectember. I agree. I mean, because that's the norm. But it seems like over the past over the past few weeks or the past week, we've recovered nicely. So let's see if we can maintain.
Right. Did you see the other day? There was like a chart, supposedly a century old chart that kind of tracked back to like 1924, and it showed all the ups and downs historically, and
Oh,
then it goes all the way to 2059.
well, if you're referencing the Standard and Poor S&P, oh no, actually, I
Yeah,
have
this one.
seen this chart. That's a good
Oh, you
one.
have?
In
Okay.
fact, I even saved it. But
Oh, nice.
it's a really good chart, actually. Why don't you talk about it?
I didn't really look deep into it, but I really was focusing on this year. And so right down here, 2023, 2023 is in the, I guess, the C row, where years of hard times, low prices, and good times to buy stocks, corner lots, goods, etc., and hold till the boom. And then when you go, it goes up to what things goes up after 2023, and 2026 is the peak of the good times. So years of good times, high prices, the time to sell stocks and values of all kinds.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm looking at 2029, tracking, like I remember, was that 2012? This was hard times, and yeah, I would say, yeah, 2012 was pretty, was bad. I was trying to look for, yeah, between the 2008, so it kind of coincides there. See, it's
It does, and I think it's a good example. They're saying history rhymes, right? And what you're seeing here is the potential bull runs. Now, what I find interesting, if you guys take a closer look at those numbers there, we're not actually looking for a massive bull run during the next run overall. Now, this is understand that this information is coming more from traditional markets because it must, right? So, not to say that this correlates specific to crypto, but there are very significant ties to traditional markets. And not financial advice here, folks, but when you take a look at Standard and Poor over the past, well, life of it, if you were to just hodl, invest year over year in Standard and Poor, you get 8% gains on average annually. That's just investing your money, letting it sit in Standard and Poor on average. There's never been a down year on that. When you take a look at averages over a long span of time. So something to consider. Love this one. I have never seen this one. I saw this the other day when someone posted it. I definitely encourage you to check it out. So Brawnz, get that out there on Twitter. I think you said you reposted it. It's a good one.
mm-hmm.
Another one that I've seen recently was the rainbow price chart indicator, and it's the bands. And what you see is the lower bands, and they're we're kind of in the fire sale, right? The time to buy is when you're in the blue, and we're in that right now. Now that's assuming that this trend continues overall. And as you start to go up into the different bands, the color bands, it starts to talk about when you need to really get out. and when you need to consider to hodl, etc. So right now we've been riding low for a significant amount of time. This is not uncommon because we did this back in 2015 into 2017, going into 2018, where the span of, they call it fire sale, but realistically, when you take a look at the chart, it was still creeping up. So, I like this one as well. I think there's a lot of great charts out there. And, but as always, folks, make sure that you are doing your own research. There it
Boom.
is. Drop the mic. So,
Boom. There you go.
just, yeah,
So blue is the time is kind of indicating that's a good time to buy.
blues now is the fire sale, right? Want to get in while the getting's good. And, as you go up here, it's fire sales at the bottom, to the left is buy, and then accumulate. Still cheap. Hodl. Is it the bubble? FOMO intensifies. We're getting into orange, right? Red, sell. Seriously, sell. And then, yeah, maximum bubble territory. I don't know. Always want to pay attention when folks are saying buy. When everyone in the world is saying buy, that's when you need to start to consider to sell. Not
There
financial
you
advice,
go.
but that's my 2 cents, folks.
Yeah, the psychology. People's like, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I had done that.
Yeah, wish, want. Don't be that guy. Don't be that
Yeah, don't be
gal.
that
Come
guy.
on now. Use your brain. Make your own decisions. Live with them. Come up with a game plan, and when you have that specific mark in mind, stick with it. Don't and get out when you have some profits. Take some profits. Learn to spend some of your profits too. um, you know if you're just misering, or just being miserly about your money, that's what's fun. What's the fun in that? Go to Disneyland, seriously.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or Disney World, whichever you prefer.
I like Disney World.
Yeah, me too. Disneyland's kind of weak. Or is it the other way
Yeah.
around? I don't know. I forget which is which. But yeah, we were talking about good old Gary earlier. Gary, SEC
Oh,
chair,
Gary.
right? Gary Gensler. And we got another one here. This is let me just let me know when you see this here, Bronze. Um, House Republican compares SEC chair to Tanya Harding. Ooh,
Ooh.
kneecapping capital markets. Man,
Wow.
I don't know who that House Republican was, but it's a little bit harsh. Now this is on thehill.com. Uh, of course, no political affiliations. Oh, here we go. Andy Barr, love him or hate him. He's slamming SEC Commission Chair Gary Gensler on Wednesday, accusing him of kneecapping U.S. capital markets. Um, what do you think? Is he truly that detrimental? Does he need to go? You tell me.
He needs to go. Yeah. It's yeah. They were calling him out. He couldn't give, just like the last hearing that he couldn't give a straight answer to them, and they were just getting really frustrated. The congressman, they were saying, I think McHenry was saying his patience is wearing thin with Gensler, and I think Waters was also saying her patients were thinner as well. I mean, there was just some spicy moments in that hearing where the congressmen were calling Gensler's out, like with his Goldman Sachs connections, his loyalty to big banks, stifle innovation. Yeah, he could not answer any of these questions directly. It was annoying that they couldn't get nothing out of him, and so I mean the Congress is ready to slap a subpoena on the SEC if Gensler just won't he won't cohere with what they're trying to do. So yeah, I they're trying to put a bill for him to be fired or try to restructure the SEC. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, is there? I don't even know if there's like a term for people in the SECs, or in those branches, because I think I believe the last one, man, I already forgot the guy's he resigned. I guess it's a matter of time that, I mean, do we have to wait for Gary to resign?
Yeah, I mean, sure, yes. I feel like you
No.
they don't I don't honestly feel like they have one or two of them have the power to kick this guy out, right? It has to be something that is truly voted on, call for it. But I feel like actions speak louder than words, and I don't know that I'm seeing actually any movement from any of them. You know, they're calling him out,
Yeah.
calling him, no good for the space, and I'll agree that he is no good for the crypto space. There's no doubt in my mind. I think we all kind of can agree with that. But I also feel like when we start to make significant changes, as we are to specific spaces, especially in the crypto space, we also don't want to jump into things. But I don't know. They ask him some pretty pointed questions. I got a clip here. This is in regards to the Pokemon question. You know
Oh,
which one I'm
okay, good. I
talking
was looking
about.
that up.
Um,
Yes.
Let me pull this up here, and this is where they tried to kind of corner him and talked about whether or not this is a security. Bitcoin is a security. Let me know that you see that there, and do me a favor. Let me know that you hear it. Give me a thumbs up.
Suppose I were to purchase a Pokemon card. Would doing so constitute a security transaction?
You could purchase a Pokemon card. I don't know what the context is, but if you're just purchasing a Pokemon card
If I purchase a Pokemon
at
card, is
at
that a security
retail store,
transaction?
that's not a security.
Okay.
Right, not a security is what he's saying. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see how they try to spin this on him.
If I were to purchase a tokenized Pokemon card on a digital exchange via a blockchain, is that a security transaction?
I'd have to know more.
Okay. So for you, the process of tokenization is what transforms a non-security
said it.
transaction into a security transaction?
Well, that's a little bit right. Trying to spin it. Tokenization
Right.
is the difference. Is the differentiator. And he said, "Well, I need to know more. I need some more." And I'll agree because, and we'll be getting this into a little bit. There's many different layers, and I wonder if Mr. Torres himself really knows what the hell he's talking about. But he's got the right questions. I find it
Yeah.
a little bit weird that he doesn't have sleeves on. What is that? He doesn't he have sleeves?
Maybe
Is
sorry,
that
like it's riding up to his elbow, but yeah, maybe he got the half sleeve
maybe.
whistle shirt. He's ready to go. He's ready to fight.
Yeah. Wearing that salmon color. What is that? Salmon color shirt?
Yeah.
Mr. Torres. All right, let's see how this it wraps up.
Look, if the investing
I thought you were
public-
technology neutral.
If the investing public is anticipating profits based upon the efforts of others and they're exchanging funds, that's the core.
I
of
see
that
my time has
transaction.
expired, so.
What the heck? Boom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I do find it strange, right? I wish there could have been a little bit more, and I wonder if he knew that his time was about to expire. He surely must have.
He looked like, yeah, he got his phone. He timed it or something.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't want to talk.
What
Well,
was
go
Gary?
ahead.
What was he really trying to say? Because if I had a Pokemon card and I sold it on eBay, there's an auction feature in eBay, and depending the time when the time is auction is about to close, people are bidding against that. I mean,
Yeah. But I think
that's
what
not
he's
it's not
saying is that
considered as a
it's
security.
well, all right. But if I were to have a statue in my home, that the statue of David, and I got the statue of David, and I want to sell it. It's not a token. It's not a token. It's not a form of currency. It's a statue that has value. I think that's what he's trying to say. And what is happening here is, if I have an NFT, it is technically a token, which is then can be used for transaction for other things. So if it's on Ethereum, then it's an Ethereum token,
Right.
And that's where the complexity of this all comes in. Now, Mr. Torres, I feel like taking a look at his grin at the end kind of recognizes this. Maybe, maybe not. But I do think that it's not an easy answer. But Gary doesn't handle himself very well. I don't feel like he. I feel like we better need a better spokesperson, someone who really has a really strong grasp that can explain himself in a pointed manner. Gary can't do it. He just
No.
can't. So maybe what we need is someone with a little bit more focus or a little bit more
Cojones.
cojones. I don't know. Yeah. I think it. Listen, it's all good. I love the entertainment of it all. Man, it's like watching a soap opera.
Yeah. I want to share something real quick before we get into our
Yeah, please.
meet.
We
There
got the
is-
time, brother.
Yeah, there is something, a platform called Courtyard.io, and basically it is a tokenized uh, platform where you buy like these blind packs, and you could win one of real world assets, Pokemon cards, sports cards, things like that. They already have it. The company already has it. It's supposed to be stored in the vault. And when you open the blind pack, you have a choice to redeem it, like get it, the actual physical asset sent to you, or you can just hold on to that token or the I don't know, token NFT, and then you can sell it out in the open market, like OpenSea. And then I guess when you sell, if you sell it, and that just keeps on being traded, you get residuals, you get a royalty. I guess if you're the original holder, you get, well, yeah, or whoever owns the NFT. See, now I'm confused. Okay, I think if you're the original holder and it gets traded, you get royalty, like small amounts of royalties. But I don't know, like, what happens to the people that buys it and sells it, like the previous owners. I mean, that part's confusing. But what do you think about this platform? Do you think this kind of falls under what Gary is opposed of?
Well, I think it's not so much that I think in part that you're using a currency, a token currency to purchase something and receive a token currency back. Now, I know that there's that physicality of that product in between. Now, the folks that are leveraging this platform, of course, is inserting that physicality to it, that physical product. But I think what Gary has a problem with is the fact that we're exchanging tokens on the back end, and that there is, depending on what type of token and the functionality of the token, is dependent on whether or not it's security or it's not. And there's so many variations. And I think what we have to start to do is we have to start to categorize it. And I'm hoping that they are doing that on the back end. But for God's sakes, start with the top 10. Start with the top 10.
Yes.
I know that, and there's so many different. Start with the top 2. Start with the top 3. Give me 3, right? Start with Bitcoin. Start with Ethereum, and okay, fine. You want to take a look at a token. Look at Doge or Shiba, whatever. Start with those. Define those, and the rest of everything else will fall into place. That's what I think
Amen.
needs to happen. I don't know why he gets so gosh darn granular. But you know what? Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I don't get it, bro.
I think you do.
I feel like we both do. I just there's
Yeah,
you know what it is. Maybe it's the politics of it all.
It is the politics. He's tied up. I mean, the congressman, they're calling him out that he's tied up with old money, with the traditional institutions. We're held back compared to the other countries. They're moving forward.
Yeah.
and we got to keep up. We're always. I mean, U.S. is we're the innovators of everything.
We
But
are.
I mean, we have to innovate with currency,
Well,
and yeah. So
I think when you take a look at some of the smaller countries that are very lopsided with their governments, that are attempting to leverage cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, uh, I think that's because the governments are so lopsided. It's easier to maneuver, right? So when we do have those presidents that come in and they both own the Senate and the House, things are very, you can move very quickly. Now, those times are very rare and very brief, usually. But when you take a look at some of these countries that it may have governments in there that span um, many different several years, if not maybe decades, they can maneuver and make certain changes in that space quicker than we can. But to be fair, we have a lot more to lose, being number one. And when you take a look at it realistically, I know that there's been talk about China taking over as number one. They are still not even close.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're going to go ahead and make sure we do the right thing, not only by um, really, I feel like not only by our leaders, but they're going to make sure that overall the country succeeds to dominate the rest of the world, in my opinion.
From what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing, CCP China is collapsing right before our eyes. Their
Okay.
housing market, their whole economy is about to their growth, the population growth is all messed up. But we'll
Well,
save that for another show.
save that for another show. Maybe it'll be U.S. India. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know. So, but all good stuff here, Bronze. Why don't we get into it? Let's talk about what is a cryptocurrency.
Yeah. What is it?
What is a cryptocurrency, Bronze? Why don't we just start by, well, let's talk a little bit about the history, right? Um, so who started it? Who started it?
Yeah.
You
No
want you
one
want
knows
this
for
one,
sure.
Bronze?
Yeah, I'll
There
get
you
this one.
go.
Yeah. Most say it's Satoshi Nakamoto.
Ooh,
True
Satoshi.
identity has never been verified or revealed. Authored the Bitcoin white paper, designed the first blockchain database.
First blockchain database, Satoshi Nakamoto. Right. You take a look at some of the historics on this, and you have the chats that he is in, and he's talking about it. Now, some of the stuff that he is talking about is complete and utter nonsense if you go back and take a look at it, but there's a lot of brilliance to it as well. And I wonder if that's the mark of a genius. So
It's crazy. We'll never see him.
never see him.
He's like
And
Banksy.
well,
Like
yeah,
that.
maybe so. And some allude to the fact that he's already passed, so
Oh
we may
yeah.
never see him. There's a handful of folks that they think that this person is. None of them are really coming forward. What I find interesting is one of those folks, and please make sure you guys are checking all this stuff out. Uh, the guy that died, his wife is one of the top Twitter spokespersons for Bitcoin. And I'll pull that up, but we'll
Oh,
get that up for another time. Who is
okay.
he? We don't really know. I don't know if we'll ever know. So good call on that one. But others are saying that it was CIA or NSA,
Okay.
and yeah, I think that there's a possibility. There's a possibility. They're saying that some believe Bitcoin might have been created by a government agency, and they want to control or monitor the flow of money on a global scale. The fact of the matter is, yes, absolutely. This is what Ledger is. It is a way to serialize, if you will, as you take a look at the old dollar bills and $100 bills that with the serial numbers, a way to kind of identify where transactions are going, mark the transactions. You can follow every transaction back to its origin.
Yeah.
And when the governments back, call it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, were saying, no, only only gangsters use it. Only criminals use it. Well, yeah, okay. Criminals also use dollar bills. Criminals got to eat too. They got to go to KFC and get their KFC poutine. But I feel like, yeah, I mean,
It's true.
yeah, sure. Everyone does it. Everyone is going to use the way to transact whichever is best for them. But man, talk about a way to track the flow of money. There's no
Right.
better way than this. No better way.
I mean, they
Right.
say that the government, the U.S. government, has a big bag of Bitcoin. Some of it was obtained in the Silk Road. And
Yeah.
how did they get that?
Well,
It might
they
be
killed
because of
Satoshi.
they killed Satoshi. they got all the bad guys in Silk Road and got a big bag of Bitcoin. And then when you see the market moving, you see these wallets out there, these big wallets moving, and a lot of people are speculating that's the government's wallet that's selling off, that's buying. Um, yeah, so this is a good conspiracy theory right here. The CIA.
CIA, NSA. Yeah, I think so. I think so. But will we ever know? I don't know. How many licks
Yeah.
does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? The world may never know. All right. When did it start there, Brawnz?
Yeah, Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency created and is now the most valuable and well known.
Boom.
It was first launched in January 2009 in response to the market crash in 2008. I can attest to that. Cryptocurrencies were introduced as a brand new decentralization model for money. Decentralized meaning that no government organizations can set the worthiness of the coin or flow, and that crypto enthusiasts think makes cryptocurrency secure and safe. Now we're seeing a different light now, right? As the years goes on, they also help to combat the monopoly of currency and free money from control.
There it is.
These are that was the dream. This all started with the good intentions, but now it's getting so complicated.
Well,
And
I mean, listen, it became valuable. And, it's the moment that it became valuable to everyone else, that's when they took notice, right? Could have been a Pokemon. And if Pokemon, or you remember Pogs? Could have been Pogs. If for those who don't know, little cardboard discs, they used to be very rare, and they were kind of like the marbles of the modern time, way back in the late 90s. And back then I actually worked for a card store. It was a sports and memorabilia. We were selling those things like they were going out of style. And then at the end of it all, we had trash bags full of these things, and we couldn't give them away.
Wow, so that's where they got the term got caught with holding the bag.
Yeah, holding a bag. Yeah. So, I want to pull this. I'm gonna step away from this here for a second. I got the first video. Oh, let me just go ahead and pull this up. We're gonna get into why it was created here in just a second, but
got caught holding the bag, literally.
Brawnz, you probably seen this. This is a reaction to Bitcoin way back in 2013. Let me know when you see this here. Look at this guy. Poor guy.
You got the constellation up on his head.
Yeah, something. Young man, right? Way back in 2013. I swear that's not me. Could have been. Where's my hat? Anyways, here, check this out. Let me know that you could hear this.
I'm right here watching history be made. Bitcoin is now up to $111.
Wow.
It's an all-time high, and it's continuing to rise. I've seen it break 3 times today. It went up to 110, and this is the highest that it's been. It's ridiculous.
Man, the good old days.
Last trade, 189 Bitcoin for $111 piece. That's amazing to me. I mean, just look at this graph. You see this graph? That's the last 3 hours. Give me a second. I'll switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up there, brother.
That just
But
man, it even like I was around when Bitcoin was $1. That's when I first got exposed to the Bitcoin, when it was $1. Then I saw like $2 and $5. I'm like, I felt like I missed a train back then, and that was just, yeah. But at that time too, there was other cryptos that came about. Like Litecoin was there.
well, that coin's still around too. A
Yeah,
lot of folks
Litecoin
still trade it.
right. So I was on the sideline. I was just watching and seeing how this goes, because I mean I like the concept and it, but I wasn't sure which one was gonna rise to the top. I mean, Bitcoin was the name brand, but I thought the other ones were gonna pop off. But Bitcoin stood the test of time, and yeah, I'm like those people, the FOMO, or woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Don't be that guy. Have no regrets. Hodl, hodl, hodl. Because it's when you take a look at the chart shows hodl. Very few have, and those that did, well, they're sitting pretty. But now, why was it created? And we kind of touched on this. It was during the great financial crisis of the 2000s, and it was when there was numerous banks that had failed or collapsed, and that was kind of the main driver of it, right? You had talked about the Great Recession back in 2008, and those of you that are watching that lived through that knew that that was real. There was a lot of fear, and people were losing their homes. The housing market completely collapsed, and shoot, they've made movies about it. But The Shorts, man, that's
you watched it? I need to watch
it. Yeah,
I need to watch it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's got Christian Bale in it. But yeah, not movie advice, but if you want to check it out, let us know how it is in the comments below. Don't forget to like. But the idea behind it was to give people a legitimate peer-to-peer electronic cash system that wouldn't rely on the banks that kept failing. And it was basically used as an independent currency so that it couldn't be manipulated by the government. So that was the overall thought of it. Central banks, of course, continued to print more and more money into the circulation. And this is one way to kind of hedge against all that, all the inflation that's going on. So, that was the idea, right? That was when, and that was why. So,
is it
what is it though, Brawnz?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, like gold or oil, cryptocurrency or virtual currency is like the most well-known type of crypto asset. Most equate Bitcoin to gold, digital gold.
Boom.
It has a limited amount of availability, and it can only be mined through intense computing processing, which is only referred to crypto mining.
Yeah, absolutely. I crypto mine at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I think if we just hush for a moment, you can hear, it almost sounds like the house is lifting off the ground. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to the moon here, folks. But so but yeah, it is right. Bitcoin is kind of in parts treated like an asset, and there's many that say that it's security, it's a commodity, but I feel like we all know it's a security, folks. It's a security, and it is like gold. There's a finite amount of it, and this is like the, was it 1849s? 49ers?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is the gold rush. Get in, start mining.
Right.
Some of the largest mining companies in the world are here in the U.S. Not only in the U.S., the largest in the world is here in Texas. Go figure.
Boom.
So, but we more about that here, maybe for the next one. Well, what about what is it like? Money? It's like an asset. So it's like security. It's like gold. Is it like money? Yeah. Well, it's also like money. It's a digital token. It can be a digital token and a type of digital currency that allows people to make payments directly to each other through, of course, online means. And until really, here's the problem with this: until the markets really truly stabilize and we start to hit trillion, 2 trillion, 10 trillion market caps. Um, this whole space is prone to huge swings in valuation. Now, what do you say about stable coins though, Bronze? They're kind of
Yeah.
stable
What?
level.
This
They're
is.
kind of like the
Well,
dollar.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, most from the most part of it, but it could depeg, and that's what people are scared of.
Oh, I
But
think
from
we've seen that. Oh man, I feel
yeah.
like I'm getting heartburn just thinking about
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, lived through that once or twice. In fact, we just recently saw Tether kind of dip over the, I don't know, maybe it's 3 months ago, 4 months ago, before it started to recover. Thank God, because, but that's another story altogether.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah,
It is money. I mean, when you have the big institutions going all in on it, it is money. You got BlackRock, you got ARK, you got Fidelity,
man,
going in with these ETFs, SECs playing games, stifling innovations. Come on, let's
it's
keep it
money.
going. It's
It's
money.
money. It's gold. I'm thinking like Die Hard when they're going in downtown New York City and they're trying to get all that gold out of the banks.
Yes.
Man, here it is. Try to steal this.
Yeah. Is it like owning a stock in a company? This is a little bit trickier. Cryptocurrency has DAOs, which
It
is similar
is.
to how
Yeah.
stocks are treated for ownership in a company to receive voting rights and rewards in a company. DAOs are internet communities with shared bank accounts using blockchain technology. DAOs can be token based or shared based. DAOs have several advantages. Traditional organizations are created in 4 steps: development, funding, governance, and rewards.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, and this is where it starts to get a little bit more outside of the basics, right? Is it something that you can invest and hold in like gold? Gold certificates. You get a gold certificate. No one, very few people I know don't store gold in their homes. If they do, I guarantee you they have a shotgun right next to it. But I will say that, yeah, is it like money? Sure. But you could also use it as a DAO, and that kind of acts very much like owning stock in a project and or company. So we're starting to see that there's many different layers to this here. And I think that's where the confusion starts to come in because everyone's hearing what's like this, but then they may see or read an article that it's like something else, like owning a bit of a company. Well, what is it? Help me understand. And frankly, it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Um, so, is it an NFT? Well, what the hell is an NFT? What the heck is an NFT? First of all, right? An NFT it stands for non fungible token, and basically, a non fungible token is something that cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided. And the ownership of that NFT, that non fungible token, is recorded on the blockchain. What's blockchain? I don't want to go there just yet. That's too complicated for you folks. This is 101. When we graduate 101, we'll talk into what a blockchain is. But think of it as just owning something that you only own. You can ever only own that. Now, can someone take one of those images off to the left there, take a copy of it? Sure. But it's like owning the Mona Lisa. There's only one. We know where it is. And if
Mhm.
you get a copy of it in your home, no one's going to say, wow, you got the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
That, that's yours? No, of course not. Everyone knows where the Mona Lisa is. Think of it
Mhm.
like that. You have that sole copy or that sole ownership of whatever that NFT is, whether that is an image, whether that is music, whether that is, I don't know, the White Album by the Beatles. If you own that, just like Michael Jackson at one point owned the Beatles' rights, think of it like that.
Yep.
So,
It's all proof on the blockchain.
and it's all proved, you own it. The difference is instead of having an ownership of sitting in some office or safe or at a bank somewhere saying that you own it, you have it on the blockchain. So it's all a ledger. And this is, I feel like, why the governments not only need it, they want it.
Yes.
It's coming. This is
Right.
inevitable. Now, the question is, are we going to get the central banks involved? But that's a story for another time.
Oh, yeah. No, man.
So, and then Brawnz, wrap it all up here, brother.
Yeah, it is many different things. It has many different use cases. It can be an asset like Bitcoin, which is similar to gold. It can be used
Boom.
as token for transaction like Dogecoin. It can be
Boom.
used as a way to own part of a company or project
Boom.
like a DAO. It can be an NFT as a way to own an image, music, movie, etc.
Boom.
Many different things. It's evolving. And I know with with the laws, they're trying to match up these use cases, you know, with the laws. But you might have to. This is a whole new evolution, and they might have to like develop new laws to, you know, like what you said. These categories, crypto. They're gonna have to find a way to put different categories in. Okay, what's the function of this? Okay, well, this goes into that bucket. This is classified as that. That's classified as this. I mean, so yeah, what I don't know what the holdup is. Uh, yeah, so
Well,
yeah, it's all these crazy politics just holding it back.
politics, sure. That's it. I feel like, long and short of it, that's it right there. You know, when you take a look at all that's going on in space, and when you take a look at why Gary Gensler is up there hemming and hawing as to what a cryptocurrency is, there's so many different variations of what can be defined as a cryptocurrency. So when someone from the Senate or from any type of committee asks him for a clear definition to a particular sentence, he's going to struggle because I think most of us will that kind of understand the space. Now, I'm not defending Gary. He's got a tough job. I will say he's got a tough job. Does he need to leave? I feel like, yeah, his time has come. It's done. He needs to move on. We need to get better clarity in the space. They need to start to pull the trigger on some of this stuff. And before we know it, the bigger concern that I would have is, do we have a private investor or a firm that is just going to corner the market? That's what's happening, I feel like, with BlackRock. And I feel like that's the concern that we have really moving forward. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. What do you think, Brawnz?
I'm just ready for this to blow up. In the meantime, it's a good time to just accumulate, not financial
Accumulate.
advice.
There it is. Do your own research, folks. All right, Brawnz. Well, any other words of wisdom to these fine folks out there?
No, I'm good. Just have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend. Absolutely. And get out there. Do your own research. Get involved, folks. Mine the heck out of Bitcoin if you can.
Mm.
And if you need a space heater this winter, Bitcoin mining is the way to go for sure. So,
yeah.
all right, folks. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. We'll be right back. Peace.
Peace.